Heyman is a very controversial character in the wrestling business. And yesterday, Paul Heyman got some backlash from some people due to a post-Raw social media post. On Twitter, or X as people call it now, a user brought up how Heyman was trending higher than the quote libtard who set himself on fire. The user was making reference to Heyman trending above US airman Adam Bushnell. Bushnell, who was protesting the war in Gaza, died after setting himself on fire outside the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. Heyman requoted the post. He quote reposted the user with the message, "My tribal chief, Roman Reigns, blah blah blah, Rock, Solo, Jimmy Uso, and I set the ratings, the box office, and WWE Universe on fire every time we appear." So with this, I would say a pretty insensitive post, and Heyman can't claim that he didn't fully, read the actual, full post. The user clearly put the libtard who set himself on fire. Heyman, being a Jewish guy, would feel, he will feel a certain way about this. I think it was the Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson Jr., reposted Heyman's post, but then he said he didn't actually look below to see the post from the user that had tweeted at Heyman initially. But Heyman saw the post, and Heyman made the thing about, we putting it there on fire. And then Heyman later on put something about it was a play on the whole saying, to the river, to the sea, Palestine will be free, or something like that. And, I haven't got a dog in this fight with Israel-Palestine, but I think that was quite, with a man that set himself on fire, quite an insensitive thing to post, that's, and somebody in Heyman's position, he should really know better, he really should. And yeah, I would say that was a pretty shitty thing on his part to do. He should have just totally ignored that tweet. With Heyman though, Heyman hasn't been shy of controversy over his long, illustrious career in wrestling. Heyman is known to be, many people would call Heyman a habitual liar. I think Jim Cornette used to say that Heyman would rather climb a tree and tell a lie than to be on the ground and tell you the truth. And with some of Heyman's lies, it's sometimes people look back at, like, the ECW talent will look back on them and kind of laugh a bit. But there are some other lies out there that he's told that are quite dark, quite disturbing. But I mean, some old ECW talent will look back on lies that Heyman told, and then I think there was something about, bounce checks was very common with ECW talent. He owed them a lot of money. And I think Bubba Ray Dudley told a story about inquiring about one thing, and it was something about, like, the number of digits for the check or something. And I think Heyman gave Bubba 9 digits, but it was actually, could only be 8. And then Heyman just said to him over the phone, "Oh, just knock a digit off of it." I mean, some of the lies that he's told over the years, but I think, you still get talent today that, FTR were critical of him and how he was from their time there in WWE. AJ Styles a few years back when his partners, the Good Brothers, got released, he called Heyman a bold-faced liar over that he had promised them, I'm going to bat for them, and he held Heyman responsible for them getting fired. But with this video here, I'm going to get into the stuff here with Jack, and Jack really did hate Paul Heyman's guts, it seems, from this shootout interview that he did maybe around 2002, 2003 time. I wouldn't be fully fooled by Heyman's crocodile tears that he had on that post-Smackdown show just after Jack passed away. I think Heyman very much knew that Jack did not like him at all, and he really did hate his guts and felt a certain way about him. And with this then, so you're going to find out some stuff here with lies that Heyman allegedly had told Jack. And I don't doubt him. I know Jack's a bit of a controversial character in his own right, but Heyman has a reputation in the wrestling business for being a liar. He's known for being a pathological liar. So I feel that I think for most of this that you, Jack, is telling the truth. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to start playing this, and then I'll react as I'm going along with it. So,
Paul Heyman, Mr. ECW, Mr. Have I ever lied to you? I got your back. I'm your best friend. This is the same motherfucker that took us to Canada and we did a pay-per-view. And on the way back, he said he got stopped at the border and they seized all the money. Because it was drug money, they thought, and we was now 3 months behind on getting paid. Paul Heyman. The same motherfucker that told me, Jack, go down to Georgia, try yourself in on some charges I had, and I'll send you your check, and I'll get you out of jail. And I told him, I said, Paulie, if you don't do it within the next 3 days, I'm going to be in jail for a minute. And 3 days turned into 9 weeks I sat in jail.
And Heyman's up there with Hulk Hogan.
And that's when I became a fucking face.
Lies he
and
tells.
I didn't even plan on doing it. It was never planned. I just came in the ring and I cut a promo and I said I missed the motherfuckers in ECW. And all of a sudden, they accepted me as a fucking face. For y'all that don't know, that's a good guy.
Okay, I'm just going to skip a bit as I'm going along this.
Taz goes to Pittsburgh and gets a sexual assault charge on a bitch at a tanning booth. What happens? Paulie says, don't tell nobody what happened because Taz is one of my top guys. So they bought their way out of that. They paid the girl not to go to court, and Taz walked away, and everything was okay. Paul Heyman, he told everybody in ECW that he was going to do a deal after we lost TV with, what was it, TNN, right? He says, I'm going out to California and I'm going to do this deal and I ain't coming back until I have a new TV deal signed. But for those that didn't know, Paulie went out to fucking California to do that movie Rollerball. That's why he was in California.
Shit, McMahon was in that as well, right?
You know, he said, I'm the captain of the ship. I'm not going to go down unless, you know, I ain't going to let y'all go down unless I go down. I'm the captain. I go with the ship. And the whole time he was planning some shit to do what he did. He jumped fucking ship.
Heyman did leave before the ECW officially closed its doors.
The last show. A lot of guys to this day can't get a job because Paulie got heat with him, and he makes it a point that they will not get hired in fucking WWE. Me, myself, I know I won't go to WWE because if I went and I saw him, I'd smack the shit out of him. If I saw his mama, I'd run over her with my fucking car. I'd tie his daddy to a fence and let a bull butt fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't shit. The motherfucking air that he breathes, he ought to be contaminated. He's a fucking worthless piece of shit. Him and that cocksucker Todd Gordon, both of them can suck my dick. Only problem is it might feel good and I might like it. So I don't even want them to do that. All right? Todd Gordon's another one. It was the good cop, bad cop. It was Todd, it was Paulie. And Todd played the good cop game. Todd's the same motherfucker who sat in a hotel and smoked crack. But no, don't say nothing because Todd is like in Philly. He's a business guy. He's a family guy. Fuck Todd Gordon. Todd was fucking the motherfucking first aid bitch named Mary Sue or Mary Ellen, whatever the fuck that whole name was. You know what I mean? And he was married.
Yeah, that stuff about Todd Gordon, but that's well known, is it, amongst the wrestling, well, the ECW hardcore fans, the smart fans. That was even a big thing within the ECW arena. People chanting. It wasn't like some groupie or someone he was with, and she was, when they're having sex, was screaming Todd is God, and stuff like that. So that's well known, you know, about Todd Gordon. So I'll just keep going along with this. So
they dogged everybody in ECW. If you played the game, you got over. If you played the game, they allowed you to go to the Fed, as they called it.
New York.
Paulie calls me on my way to Queens, and he said, New Jack, don't come to the show. I said, why? He said, the athletic commissioner is mad at you because he said the last time we worked the show in New York, you hit on his daughter. She was 14. My daughter's 17. Come on, man. He owed me money. But that was the night that Taz was gonna be at the show after he went to WWE. Bubba and Devon was gonna be at the show. So he makes up this story. Don't come to the show, Jack. Athletic Commission's mad at you. I said, I need my money. I pulled up in the parking lot and I said, Paulie, bring me my money. You owe me about $8,000, bring me at least 6 and I'll go away. He sent somebody down there and brought me $500. I said, you done lost your goddamn mind. And the athletic commissioner that he's talking about that I was hitting his daughter just so happened to walk by. Remember the guy with the fucking finger? The one that's at the bent finger?
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck his name is. I said, bro, he's Jack, what's up? I said, nothing. I said, I was told that she was mad at me. He said, about what? I said, because I was hitting on your daughter the last show. He said, Jack, if you was hitting on my daughter the last show, I would be pissed off at you. What y'all did in New York. He said, the only problem is I don't have kids. This is the same motherfucker that called me when we had a pay-per-view in L.A. Paul Heyman, Paul E. called me when I stayed in Dayton, Ohio.
It's even more disturbing.
He said, Jack, where are you? I said, I'm in Dayton. He said, give me a phone number where I can call you back. I said, you got my cell phone? He said, no, give me a Dayton phone number I can call you back. I said, for what? He said, because right now I'm in the police department and there's a woman sitting here saying that you just raped her. And I'm trying to get you out of it. And it was some security guys that he had worked in Dayton, lived in Dayton. One of them was a cop. I think his name was Al, some shit like that. Al was right there with me. I put him on the phone. I said, tell him where I am. He said, he's right here with me, Paulie. He said, Jack, I'll take care of it, but right now, there's this woman that's saying that you wanted, you picked her up to pay for sex, and you had sex with her, and then you didn't pay and you beat her up. I said, I'm in fucking Dayton. That's the kind of shit he played with me. And before I left, I started telling him, I said, I want you to change my name to Spare Tire. He's like, what? I said, Spare Tire. I want to be known as Spare Tire from now. He said, why? I said, because the only time you take me out, motherfucker, is when you need me.
Yeah, so that's pretty disturbing stuff right there. I was saying R word like that because when the full word, you have to watch and be careful with YouTube with that. But basically what you, Jack's saying is that Heyman was making up a lie, saying that there was a girl there claiming that he had sexually assaulted her, but at the same time, this is when Paul Heyman owed you, Jack, money. Now, some might say, is it possible that this happened, an incident with you, Jack, but at the same time he's still hunting Heyman down for money? It's possible. But then again, with you, Jack, I mean, no doubt he's a controversial character. He's done some fucked up shit. But at the same time, though, I think if something like that had maybe happened, there might have been stories that would have been out there about you, Jack. I haven't heard those type of stories. But with these lies, the lies to me seem pretty consistent with Heyman and what the type of person he is and his character and what we've heard about him over the years. But with this though, so I'll just carry on. And
then you go to WWE and file bankrupt and say you ain't got shit because you gambled all the fucking money away. Alright? You remember the night I got you and Taz and Dreamer, Rooms, Comp, and Harris? And got you a gold card with your name on it? What'd you put on it? What'd you do with it? With a gold card, bitch, it's like they keep record of what you do. And that was the same night that everybody got snowed in to a show in Jersey, and you ain't get nobody except for me and the 3 other people over a $300 draw. Everybody got $50. Why? Because you went down to Atlantic City and gambled and lost $17,000 one night in Atlantic City. Come on now. I don't owe you shit. And Vince McMahon hires this motherfucker. You a crook. And I'm sure, Paulie, you gonna get this tape because I'm gonna mail you a copy of this motherfucker when it comes out. I'm gonna send you a copy of it. Alright? Motherfucker, I see you before you see me, and you got away with this shit. And then you go to WWE and they said, well, Paulie's only making $52,000 a year. Why? Because if you making a penny over there, then they can come and get your ass, and they can goddamn take money out your fucking check when you are fucking getting sued by everybody. So they got you right at the limit, 52. You can't make over 52. Not
Well, I think Heyman now, for all the years he's been in WWE with Brock and Roman, he's probably making much more than that. He could be making $1 million a year around that. I bet. But I wasn't quite familiar with that. Maybe at the time, just early years, like 2001, 2002 time, maybe that was the case. It was just his contract was just that, which is quite a low amount, considering the type of money that top talent make there in WWE. But here we go. I'll carry on with the end.
You are one of the lowest motherfuckers on this planet, and you got away with almost murder. Louis Bergoli died. He had worked for ECW. Bobby Duncan Jr. died. And you know what? I don't blame Pills for that. I blame you for it. Because they got lost in the motherfucking shuffle, you understand? You are the devil's son. And I wish you nothing but bad luck. And maybe the bad luck that I'm wishing on you, it might come back on me. But I hope to God that you suffer like a motherfucker before you die. And I hope you die slow. And I hope you be able to just sit there and watch your ass wither away in front of a mirror for years and then you die. And I hope you see your parents die before you because you ain't shit. But other than that, good luck, bro.
Wow. He really does hate him, does he? He really does hate him. Pretty strong words there. Pretty strong words. But, that's what, if you feel that somebody's really, screwed you over and they've done it multiple times, that's how you could end up feeling about a certain person. It's not good to be, caught up in that level of hatred, but I don't doubt a lot of what he's saying. The whole story about Paul Heyman going off to film the Rollerball film, I don't know, is that not a story that was later on disputed? It was disputed. I think C.W. Anderson claimed that's what Heyman did as well, but then Heyman took to Twitter and he was quite adamant that Rollerball was like around 2001 time, just maybe before the invasion angle was going on. I'm not quite sure. I haven't even seen that film Rollerball. But yeah, I mean, you Jack had his issues, and he was. I mean, the Gypsy Joe incident. The whole thing with a blading that young wrestler or whatever. But then this was a wrestler though. He didn't help himself. He had lied about his age. But Heyman's, they want to perceive him a certain way about this great manager and this great talker and what have you, and he's in a high position in the company. The manager of Roman Reigns. But with Heyman though, there's just a side of Heyman, a dark side there, and maybe he's changed up his ways somewhat. But from the stories you hear about people in WWE, a lot of them say that he was just the same guy, just a bit of a game player. He's a liar. Yeah, I mean, Ryback's told, but Ryback had said some stuff about Heyman, but I think his issue was with Punk, though. In fairness, he just said Heyman was guilty by association, but there's other talent there that will say about Heyman, and then there's a lot of shady stuff there with Heyman over the years, and it's not just from his time in ECW, his behavior in WWE as well. But I don't know what you guys think about this. I mean, there might be a lot of the ECW fanboys that won't like this video and this stuff with Heyman, or people might just jump right on the New Jack's better bandwagon and stuff like that. But I don't doubt most of what he's saying, to be fair. I think probably the majority of what he's saying is true. Most people know Heyman's a liar. Tommy Dreamer felt a certain way about Heyman, that felt that he got screwed over. I mean, he even said that he seriously contemplated going to WrestleMania 17, going in there with a gun, shooting Heyman, and then shooting himself. He had got to that dark place over how he had felt Heyman treated him, that he genuinely wanted to to end him. You know, proper fucked up. But yeah, there's my video, guys. So feel free to like, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment. Let me know what your take is on all this stuff, and what your thoughts are on what you, Jack, said about Paul Heyman. But that's me for now, guys. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye.